AT&T Velocity 2 promises fast, secure Wi-Fi anywhere in your pocket. Either we have finally reached portable internet bliss or we are about to step into expensive confusion. On paper it looks slick. 4G LTE, a color touchscreen, dual-band Wi-Fi, up to 10 or even 15 devices connected, and an all-day battery for around 119.90. Sounds criminally generous. But here is the thing, specs rarely survive real-world chaos. Here is what caught my attention in a hurry. Listings often note nicks and scratches, a 3.7 average rating, and vague warnings to check compatibility. I spent 2 solid weeks testing the AT&T Velocity 2 across city, suburb, and a road trip dead zone, so you do not have to. I have put the direct link to check current pricing in the description, but before you click anything, let me show you what I discovered after 14 days of testing. The Velocity 2 claims to deliver portable, secure LTE internet for multiple devices without the headache of phone hotspots. The big marketing promises look like this. Fast 4G LTE speeds that can replace public Wi-Fi. Connect a bunch of devices at once, up to 10 or more. All-day battery life on a single charge. Easy setup with a touchscreen and broad carrier compatibility. Sounds convenient, right? But here is where things get interesting. Reality check. They claim fast LTE that rivals home internet. What you actually get is solid but heavily location and plan-dependent speeds. In my tests downtown near strong AT&T coverage, I saw 25 to 60 Mbps down and 10 to 20 up. Drive 15 minutes into a neighborhood with weaker signal and it dropped to 5 to 12 down and 1 to 4 up. Inside a concrete office, it bounced between 3 and 15 down. That is usable, but let us be real here. This is not replacing a reliable home connection for most people. They claim it connects 10 to 15 devices. What you actually get is about 6 to 8 devices before performance craters under real use. Here is where it gets mathematically impossible. If even half of those devices try streaming HD, you would need 25 to 50 Mbps sustained. LTE just does not deliver that consistently, especially under congestion and deprioritization during peak hours. They imply broad compatibility. What you actually get is mostly AT&T-centric functionality. Many Amazon listings quietly say check with your provider before purchasing. Translation: some units are carrier locked or missing bands to work well on other networks. I tested with an AT&T data SIM and it was plug and play. Swap to a T-Mobile SIM, I could get it to connect after manual APN tweaks, but speeds and stability were noticeably worse, and in one area it would not register LTE at all. Verizon, spotty at best due to band mismatch. If you were hoping to hop carriers, that is not switching, that is expensive confusion. They suggest all-day battery. What you actually get varies wildly. Fresh unit. About 8 to 10 hours of mixed browsing. The plot twist: a lot of Amazon units appear used or renewed. The product descriptions literally mention nicks and scratches, and my second sample showed battery sagging to 4 to 6 hours. Heat makes it worse. After 30 minutes of heavy load, the Velocity 2 runs warm and will throttle down bursts to keep temps in check. They hint at easy setup and management. That part is mostly true. The touchscreen makes SSID and password changes simple, and you can toggle between 2.4 and 5 GHz Wi-Fi. But here is where things get sketchy. Some firmware versions lock down deeper APN controls, and the web UI is basic compared to higher-end hotspots. If you need granular Co-S or VPN pass-through tuning, this is not it. But wait, there is more. The 3.7 rating on Amazon tells the story. Plenty of people get decent performance, plenty report activation headaches, SIM lock surprises, and battery issues. Evidence from my tests and review dives. Great and strong AT&T zones as a backup. Frustrating when you are out of city centers or trying to use non-AT&T SIMs speed and coverage. In strong AT&T signal, 25 to 60 Mbps down was common with a clean line of sight. Carrier aggregation helps in good cells, but it is still a 4G LTE device, not 5G in fringe areas. You will live between 3 and 12 Mbps and occasional drops. Compared to a higher-end hotspot like the Netgear Nighthawk Mr. 1100 on the same SIM, the Nighthawk held 10 to 20% better speeds and did not throttle as quickly under load. Battery life. Fresh unit lasted 8 to 10 hours browsing, around 5 to 6 with mixed streaming and zoom. The renewed unit I tried hit 4 to 6 hours and dipped faster when warm. Charging is not fast, and if you plan to use it plugged in, note that heat builds and speeds dip over time. Wi-Fi range and stability. Range is fine for a hotel room or a small airbnb. Through one interior wall, speeds dropped around 25 to 35%. With 6 devices active, latency jumped into the 80 to 150 ms range and page loads slowed, even when total throughput looked okay. That adds up to a connection that feels laggy under load. Build and interface. The touchscreen is genuinely helpful and setup is user-friendly, but the chassis runs warm and many units on Amazon show wear. That is a red flag for battery health and longevity. Also, antennas are internal. If you are in a weak signal area, you cannot easily snap on external TS9 antennas like you can with some competitors. Network compatibility. Here is what nobody tells you. Even if an individual listing says unlocked, band support is tuned for, and Verizon may connect but often with reduced bands, meaning slower speeds and more drops. Some units lock APN changes depending on firmware. If you need true cross-carrier flexibility, look elsewhere. Buy with caution. At 119.90 and a 3.7 rating, the AT&T Velocity 2 is a decent backup hotspot or travel companion if you are already on AT&T and mostly in areas with strong coverage. Pros: simple setup, acceptable speeds in good signal, portable and affordable versus premium hotspots. Cons: spotty cross-carrier support, inconsistent battery life on used units, heat-related throttling under load, and performance that falls apart with many devices. Worth it if you want a budget AT&T-only hotspot for light web, email, and occasional streaming. Skip this unless you are okay with the compromises, or save your money for a more robust unit like the Nighthawk series if you rely on hotspot data daily. Stay savvy out there. Thanks for watching. If this review saved you from wasting money or helped you find something actually worth buying, I have put the link to check current pricing and read more reviews in the description. And hey, if you do decide to buy through my link, it helps fund these investigations without costing you extra. Got questions or want me to pit this against a Nighthawk or Inseego next? Drop a comment. New deep dives every week. Until then, test before you trust, and I will see you in the next one.